she cheated, and that's why her marriage failed. That's what people have been saying. She cheated and her marriage failed. This whole thing was either supposed to confirm that
or to say
like, no, that's not what happened.
Well,
she did not deny that.
She did not deny.
She did not say no. No cheating happened.
In fact, reading between the lines, she kind of confirmed it.
The core reason is, and I'm not talking about the surface level,
right?
The real deep reason on why your marriage had to end.
First of all, I think what people need to also understand is that when a marriage ends, it doesn't end at the announcement. It didn't end the day before the announcement. It ends years before that. So by the time I announced, I'd gone through a lot of the processes of it. So it was actually quite a relief because I felt like, I was sneaking around and, because I didn't want people to know. But in actual fact, it was done. And at the time of the announcement, it actually felt like a really big relief and a big weight off my shoulders of something that I'd been carrying for a while.
There was a whole lot of victim mentality and victim talk going on there. And somebody who clearly does not want to take accountability for actions. That's how a person like that talks. Exactly like that. Like in circles and I was not where I was supposed to be. I did not see.
This was bad.
This is really bad on so many levels. Like bad. Answering, but not answering, but answering as well.
I think she was hoping with this interview that she cleared up a lot of things. Yeah. People see her side of the story, and it's good PR for her.
Yeah,
people don't shit on her anymore. But
no, the total opposite.
It made things worse.
I think the interview asked the right questions to get out the right information, even though it's not direct. I don't know if she really thought she was going to beat around the bush for dear life in that interview and it be enough for us. Because she uses those, like those key arguments when a person wants to I want to kind of say I was wrong, but, I don't want to entirely take responsibility.
Well, the one thing that caught my attention when she was speaking there, she first says she didn't know herself when she got married.
I personally, in my journey, I think I didn't understand myself. I didn't know what it was that I wanted.
And then later on, she says, in the marriage, she further lost herself.
But I didn't know myself. And then furthermore, I went on to further lose myself in my marriage.
What did she lose that she did not know?
You know what that tells me? When she got into the marriage, she didn't know herself, right? And then because this marriage situation is different from the life she was living.
Yes.
Which is you need to commit to one person.
Yes.
You need to do all of these things.
Absolutely.
She lost
That's
herself.
the main thing. Yes.
She lost herself.
She lost herself, the non-committing person.
So that tells me that she's not a person who likes to commit. And on top of that, she did say that is settling down, feeling like you're being caged.
You see somebody that looks at commitment as a prison, then you need to know that that's not a person that is monogamous or that is for one relationship or that is for trying to make a relationship work.
Was I secure enough in living life the way that I wanted to live before I could settle down? Is that settling down supposed to feel like a prison, or is it supposed to be an extension and a growth?
And marriage should be the last thing a person like that is thinking. Not now, not ever possibly, because she's almost showing us that it's deep rooted in her being of like lack of commitment.
She was subtly saying, without trying to say, that she still wanted to be in the streets. She just didn't want to say it directly.
Yep.
I
still wanted to be in the streets.
I just want to be in the streets.
And I mean, that's not a bad thing. This is the problem. Like right now, I feel like this is a time where women should not feel ashamed of, maybe I'm not a wife material. It goes back to that. Maybe I'm not wife material. And it goes back to that conversation where people were arguing anybody could be wife material. And people are taking it more as an attack on their personality, and it's not. Not everybody is it has it in them to be able to make a household stand, to make a family, stay together, to make that warmth of a home. Like, not everybody has that within them. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, some people are just not cut out that way. I that's what I believe. And they shouldn't be shamed for it, Like, there's a space where you belong, and that space where you belong. That's the same space that you left your house for. That space, you knew it.
Well, she's for the streets, unfortunately. It's just that this is the chat that Matthew was talking about. It's like, we know you for the streets. Just own it.
Own it,
That's
love it. Yes.
Just own it. Just be like,
I'm also on that tip, like, own it and love it. It's okay. Like,
you don't have to bullshit us.
Yes.
And tell us stories that aren't true and
I mean,
so
and now try to make like the other person was wrong. They were caging you. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody was caging. They were just playing their part in what they agreed into and what they were ready for. Marriage, being committed to a person. So it's like, well, you don't playing your part in the situation.
So there's a whole lot of bullshit talk that women like to do when they try to. So women don't like to admit that they're wrong. That's a very established fact. Women don't like to admit that they're wrong. So there's this language that women speak in the red pill community. They call it womanese.
Womanese is a subtle language. It does have some similarities with English, the same words, spelling, pronunciation. But in Womanese, the woman is always right. She's perfect. And everything that the man does is always wrong. Womanese is also more fluid as a language. English, by comparison, is quite restrictive because it's possible to contradict yourself. Whereas in Womanese, you can say phrases and words that would seem like contradictions, but they can still make perfect sense to the person speaking. With Womanese, there's a lot more freedom of expression because you don't need to be consistent and the words that you speak don't need to match up with reality. So it really gives the speaker a chance to be creative with their language.
That's what they call it. They call it womanese. When women try to bullshit their way out of admitting that they're wrong.
They're wrong.
We saw what the case with Jada. Like,
yeah,
no, I had an entanglement. No.
We broke up.
And then what did you do, Jada?
Well, I think from there, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship, absolutely.
No, Minnie Dlamini, instead of saying that, no, I cheated on him, I just didn't know myself.
Yeah.
I need to find myself.
But I didn't know myself. And then furthermore, I went on to further lose myself in my marriage.
I mean, cheating ain't finding yourself.
And that's another thing.
Cheating finding yourself?
Well, hoes like to use that word for their whole face. I was just finding myself. And, that's part of womanese language that you need to understand. Once a woman says, I need to find myself.
Oh, man. She want to get under a man.
Whole face. Just understand that whole face. There's no grown-ass adult that doesn't know what they want.
Yeah.
They're just using it as an excuse.
30.
They're just using it as an excuse to sleep with people. And
you know what women don't understand here? People like to think the grass is greener on the other side. That's the problem. When they are in these things, in their
it's just that shit gets real, yeah, and then people just don't want to stick it out. So if the grass does seem greener on the other side, because you don't know what's on the other side. But what you know here is that it's bad.
Yeah.
So you don't think that it's worse that side.
That side. Yes. You always think like, it might be a little bit better than this.
Yes. So let me go there and see what's going on. I
think what people hate a lot in marriages is really getting to know the other person. And people are very intolerant of other people, if we're being honest. Not everybody is able to tolerate everything about another person. And some people tolerate much less than others. But it's like, well, marriage is like learning to know all of those things and learning to love those things about that person. People can't get past the really getting to know each other part of things, like really getting to know the other person.
In my opinion, that's what dating is for.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. You need to
then from dating, then decide, can I live with this for the rest of my life?
Dating, you need to get to know that person as much as possible, to the point where you feel comfortable knowing that, okay, with what I know, I can live with this.
I can live with this.
If you haven't gotten to that point, don't consider marrying.
Don't.
It's just as simple as that.
That's really.
I don't know why people like to complicate things. You date to get to know the person. Once you've gotten to the point where you say, with what I know, I can live with this.
But
you can marry that person. But back to this topic, Minnie Dlamini, tragic.
Yeah, very tragic.
Tragic. This interview did the opposite to what you expected it to do. You said a whole bunch
For me,
about
it really said like I still wanted to have fun, and I happened to get into a commitment that I really could not live up to, and I really felt suffocated as a result. Like I wanted to be out there, I still wanted to be dating, I still wanted to go.
What is the thing
enjoy
about
myself.
what is the thing about women not wanting to be wrong? What is it? Why couldn't she just have said that? And people actually
would have respected her more.
If she was just like, no, okay, I
because of like slut shaming is still a thing. Okay,
it's not. Well, slut shaming will always be a thing, but people will respect you more though. Now it just looks like
she doesn't want that image for herself. That's another thing. Like image is everything, especially for whatever brand she's trying to create.
She cheated, and that's why her marriage failed. That's what people have been saying. She cheated and her marriage failed. This whole thing was either supposed to confirm that
or to say
like,
no.
That's not what happened.
Well,
she did not deny that.
She did not deny.
She did not say no. Good to know. No cheating happened.
In fact, reading between the lines, she kind of confirmed it.
Yeah, you guys let us know what you think about this whole situation.
Absolutely. Did you understand from it what we understood from it, or did you get something totally different? Let us know.
Don't forget to like, subscribe,
and keep watching.
We'll check you guys in the next one.